Welcome back to Fluent Pulse. Many people dream about changing their life. They dream about success, more money, better health, confidence, freedom, peace, a stronger future. Inside their mind, they imagine becoming someone extraordinary one day. But most people never truly change. Not because they are incapable, not because they are unlucky, but because they never take consistent daily action. They wait. They wait for motivation. They wait for perfect timing. They wait for confidence. They wait for life to suddenly become easier. But successful people understand something different. A better life is not created in one dramatic moment. It is created quietly, through small daily actions repeated again and again. One workout, 1 hour of practice, one difficult decision, one disciplined morning, one page read, one uncomfortable step forward. These tiny actions may seem a person who exercises daily starts thinking, I am becoming stronger. A person who studies every evening begins believing, I am improving my future. A person who practices English every single day slowly starts saying, I can actually do this. That is the hidden power of repeated action. It changes identity quietly. And once identity changes, behavior changes naturally too. This is why habits are so powerful. Many people focus only on big goals, but successful people focus heavily on daily systems. Because goals show direction, but habits create results. For example, many people say, I want to become fluent English. But successful learners ask a different question. What daily habit will make fluency inevitable? That question changes everything. Instead of depending on random motivation, they build routines. 20 minutes daily. Speaking practice daily. Listening daily. Reading daily. And over time, their entire life begins changing. This same principle works in every area of life. Health, money, business, confidence, discipline, relationships. Everything improves through repeated daily behavior, but modern life constantly attacks focus. Phones vibrate every few minutes. Social media steals attention. Entertainment becomes endless. Many people spend entire days distracted without realizing it. Then later, another important sacrifice. Many people want a better future, but very few people truly want the discomfort required to create it. Everyone wants confidence, but not everyone wants to face fear repeatedly. Everyone wants success, but not everyone wants discipline. Everyone wants results, but not everyone wants the daily effort behind those results. This is where most people quietly give up, because growth demands something in return. Time, focus, energy, patience, comfort. Successful people understand this deeply. They know they cannot build an extraordinary life while protecting comfort all the time. Comfort feels safe, but comfort often keeps people trapped in the same place for years. Think about how many people say, one day I'll change my life, but every day looks exactly the same. The same habits, the same distractions, the same excuses, the same routine, and slowly, months become years. This is why daily choices matter so much. Your future is hidden inside your routine. What you repeatedly do every day eventually shapes your life. A person who wastes hours daily usually creates a weaker future. A person who invests time daily slowly creates opportunities. That difference becomes enormous over time. And another dangerous problem is instant gratification. Modern life trains people to chase comfort constantly. Quick entertainment, quick pleasure, quick distraction. People become addicted to easy dopamine. But meaningful success usually grows slowly. That is why patience is powerful. A person learning English may feel frustrated after 1 month. An athlete may feel frustrated after several workouts. A business owner may feel discouraged during slow progress. But successful people continue anyway because they understand something important. Results often appear slowly, then suddenly, like planting a seed underground. For a long time, nothing looks different above the surface. But underneath, growth is happening quietly. Then one day, the plant finally breaks through. Success works the same way. The daily effort may feel invisible in the beginning, but consistency changes everything eventually. And this is why discipline matters more than motivation. Motivation changes constantly. Some days you feel powerful. Other days you feel tired, stressed, distracted, or emotionally exhausted. That is normal. Every human experiences emotional ups and downs. But disciplined people continue even during difficult days. That is what separates them. Anyone can work during easy days, but strong people continue during hard days too. That creates mental toughness, and mental toughness becomes extremely valuable in life. Because life will never always feel easy. There will be stressful days, lonely days, discouraging days, days where progress feels invisible, days where quitting feels easier. But every time you continue despite difficulty, you become mentally stronger. That is how confidence is truly built. Not through positive thinking alone, but through repeated proof. Every small promise you keep to yourself strengthens self-respect. Every disciplined action tells your brain, I am becoming someone stronger. And slowly, identity begins changing. A person who once felt lazy starts becoming disciplined. A person who once felt weak becomes resilient. A person who once doubted themselves begins trusting themselves. This transformation happens quietly. Daily action changes people from the inside first. And another important lesson is responsibility. Many people wait for external change. They wait for motivation. They wait for luck. They wait for opportunities. They wait for someone else to save them. But successful people think differently. They ask themselves, what can I do today to improve my future? That mindset creates power, because responsibility creates action, and action creates progress, even during imperfect conditions. This is important because life will never become perfectly easy. There will always be problems. There will always be stress. There will always be uncertainty. But people who continue moving forward despite difficulty slowly create extraordinary lives. And another painful truth is this: many people fail not because they are incapable, but because they stop too early. They quit before habits become powerful. They quit before momentum grows. They quit before results become visible. But persistence changes everything. The person who continues learning daily eventually improves. The person who continues practicing eventually becomes skilled. The person who continues showing up eventually creates transformation. That is why consistency is one of the most valuable skills in the world. Not talent alone, not intelligence alone. Consistency. Because small disciplined action repeated for years becomes unstoppable power. And perhaps the most powerful truth of all is this: your life direction can begin changing with one decision, one disciplined choice, one new habit, one moment where you stop waiting and finally begin moving forward. One of the greatest mistakes people make is believing they still have unlimited time. They think, I'll start later. I'll become serious someday. I'll change my habits next year. But life moves faster than most people realize. Days disappear quickly. Weeks disappear quietly, and years vanish before people fully understand what happened. That is why daily action matters so much. Not because one single day changes everything immediately, but because repeated days slowly create an entirely different future. A person who improves only 1% daily may look unchanged at first, but after months and years, that small improvement becomes extraordinary. This is how successful people are built. Quietly, patiently, consistently, not through magic, not through luck alone, but through repeated disciplined action, when most people choose comfort instead. And another important truth is this: you do not need to become perfect. You do not need to become extraordinary overnight. You simply need to keep moving forward. Some days progress will feel fast. Other days progress will feel invisible, but invisible progress still matters. A person learning English may struggle in the beginning. Words feel difficult. Pronunciation feels uncomfortable. Confidence feels weak. But daily practice slowly changes everything. One conversation becomes easier. One sentence becomes smoother. One moment of confidence appears unexpectedly. Then slowly fluency begins growing naturally. The same thing happens in every area of life. Confidence grows through action. Strength grows through discipline. Success grows through consistency. And perhaps the most beautiful part is this: small daily habits eventually change identity itself. A person who once doubted themselves becomes confident. A person who once avoided challenges becomes courageous. A person who once procrastinated becomes disciplined. This transformation does not happen in one dramatic moment. It happens quietly through repeated choices. Every disciplined action sends a message to the brain: my future matters. That message slowly changes how people see themselves. And once identity changes, life changes too. Another powerful lesson is learning to continue during difficult seasons. Life will not always feel easy. Some days you will feel tired. Some days you will feel emotionally low. Some days progress will feel painfully slow. But disciplined people understand something important. Feelings are temporary. Action creates permanent results. That is why successful people continue even during difficult moments. Not because they always feel motivated, but because they understand the long-term importance of consistency. Another powerful truth about success is learning how to continue when nobody is watching. At the beginning, many people feel excited about change. They start new habits with energy. They feel motivated. They imagine a completely different future. But after some time, the excitement becomes weaker. The work starts feeling repetitive. Results still look small. And this is the moment where most people quietly stop. Not because they are incapable, but because they expected success to feel exciting every single day. Real growth often feels ordinary. The person improving their life usually repeats simple actions again and again. Waking up early, practicing daily, studying daily, working daily, staying disciplined. Daily, at first these actions may look small and unimportant, but over time they create massive transformation. This is why patience is extremely valuable. Most people underestimate what consistent effort can do over several years. They focus too much on immediate results, but successful people focus more on long-term direction. One disciplined year can completely change a person. One focused year of learning. 1 year of daily exercise. 1 year of improving habits. 1 year of consistent effort. That amount of focused action can transform confidence mindset, health opportunities, and future results. But another important lesson is learning how to manage distractions. Modern life constantly pulls attention in different directions. Phones' notifications, entertainment, social media, endless scrolling. Many people lose enormous amounts of time every day without noticing. Then later they feel frustrated because life stays the same. But attention shapes reality. Whatever repeatedly controls your attention slowly controls your future. That is why focused people protect their environment carefully. They understand that success requires concentration, and concentration requires sacrifice. Sometimes growth means saying no to distractions, no to wasted hours, no to toxic habits, no to environments that destroy focus. This is difficult because comfort feels easier in the moment, but temporary comfort often creates long-term regret. Meanwhile, discipline may feel difficult today but creates freedom later. This is one of the biggest differences between successful and unsuccessful people. Successful people often accept temporary discomfort for future rewards, while unsuccessful people often choose temporary comfort without thinking about future consequences. Another important truth is self-respect. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows. Every time you complete difficult work, your identity becomes stronger. The brain starts believing, I am reliable, I can trust myself, I finish what I start. That inner confidence becomes powerful, because true confidence is not created by empty positive thinking alone. It is created through repeated proof. Proof that you can continue despite difficulty. Proof that you can stay disciplined even during hard days. Proof that you can improve slowly without giving up. And over time, this changes everything. A person who once doubted themselves becomes mentally stronger. A person who once procrastinated becomes focused. A person who once feared failure becomes more courageous. This is why small daily action matters so much. Because repeated behavior slowly rewires identity. And identity shapes behavior automatically. Another important lesson is learning to stop comparing yourself constantly to others. Many people lose motivation because they keep watching other people succeed. They think, I am behind. Other people are better than me. Other people learn faster than me. But comparison destroys focus. Everyone starts from different situations, different struggles, different experiences, different opportunities. The most important thing is not being better than everyone else. The most important thing is becoming better than your old self. Small improvement still matters. Slow growth still matters. Progress is progress. And another powerful truth is this. Many successful people were once ordinary people with ordinary habits. The difference is they slowly changed their daily behavior. That is where transformation truly begins. Not in giant dramatic moments, but in repeated ordinary decisions, choosing discipline instead of excuses, choosing action instead of endless waiting, choosing focus instead of distraction, choosing growth instead of comfort. These small decisions repeated long enough create completely different lives. And eventually, people may call that person successful, but the success was actually built quietly every single day behind the scenes. Another important truth about growth is learning how to stay calm during slow progress. Many people become discouraged because they expect immediate transformation. They want fast success, fast confidence, fast results, fast improvement. But real personal growth usually happens slowly. And because it happens slowly, many people quit before they experience the rewards of consistency. This is one of the biggest reasons why patience becomes such a powerful skill. Patient people continue improving even when visible results still feel small. Impatient people often stop too early. Think about someone learning a new skill. At first, everything feels difficult. The brain feels uncomfortable. Mistakes happen constantly. Progress looks invisible, but every repetition is still creating improvement beneath the surface. That hidden improvement matters greatly because repetition strengthens the mind. Repetition strengthens confidence. Repetition strengthens ability. And eventually, the difficult task becomes natural. This is how mastery develops, not through sudden talent, but through repeated focused effort over long periods of time. Another important lesson is emotional control. Many people allow emotions to completely control their daily behavior. If they feel inspired, they work hard. If they feel tired, they stop completely. If they feel discouraged, they give up. But emotional reactions create unstable progress. Successful people learn how to continue even when emotions fluctuate. They understand that emotions are temporary, but disciplined action creates permanent results. This mindset changes everything because life will never feel perfectly easy all the time. There will always be stressful moments, unexpected problems, emotional struggles, periods of uncertainty. But people who continue moving forward during difficult seasons slowly become mentally stronger than most others, and mental strength becomes valuable in every area of life. Health relationships, business learning confidence, leadership and personal growth all require emotional stability. That stability is built through discipline. Another powerful truth is learning to stop fearing failure so much. Many people avoid action because they are terrified of making mistakes. They think failure means weakness, but failure is often part of growth. Every successful person has experienced mistakes, disappointment, setbacks, and embarrassment. Those experiences are normal. What matters is continuing despite them. A person learning English will mispronounce words sometimes. A person starting a business may lose money at first. A person trying to improve health may struggle with consistency. None of these things mean permanent failure. They simply mean growth is happening. Mistakes often become teachers. Challenges often create strength. Difficult experiences often create wisdom. That is why resilient people improve faster over time. They stop treating every mistake like the end of the journey. Instead, they keep learning, adjusting, and moving forward. Another important lesson is environment. The people and environment surrounding you influence your mindset greatly. Negative environments often destroy motivation. Constant negativity creates doubt, fear, distraction, and low energy. Meanwhile, supportive environments often encourage growth. That is why successful people carefully protect their mental environment. They choose information carefully. They choose habits carefully. They choose friendships carefully because repeated exposure shapes thinking and thinking shapes behavior. Another major problem in modern life is constant distraction. Many people spend hours consuming information without taking action. Watching videos, scrolling endlessly, reading motivational quotes, planning endlessly, but knowledge without action changes nothing. Real transformation happens only when information becomes behavior. That is where growth truly begins. A person may know exactly what to do, but without action, nothing changes. This is why execution matters more than endless preparation. Small, imperfect action creates more progress than endless, perfect planning. Another powerful truth is delayed gratification. This means choosing long-term rewards over short-term comfort. Successful people think long-term. They understand that disciplined action today creates freedom tomorrow. Meanwhile, repeated comfort often creates future regret. For example, someone may choose studying instead of wasting hours online. Someone may choose exercise instead of laziness. Someone may choose saving money instead of unnecessary spending. These decisions may feel small today, but over time they completely change future outcomes. This is how successful lives are quietly built. Decision by decision, habit by habit, day by day. Another important lesson is self-awareness. Many people stay trapped in unhealthy habits because they never honestly examine their behavior. They blame luck. They blame circumstances. They blame other people. But growth begins when responsibility begins. Responsible people ask difficult questions. What habits are damaging my future? What distractions waste my time? What excuses keep me stuck? What daily actions would improve my life? These questions create awareness, and awareness creates change. Another powerful truth is consistency during ordinary days. Many people can work hard occasionally, but consistency during normal, boring, repetitive days creates long-term transformation. Real growth often looks repetitive. The athlete trains repeatedly. The musician practices repeatedly. The learner studies repeatedly. The disciplined person repeats productive behaviors again and again. At first, this may seem boring, but repetition creates mastery, and mastery creates freedom, confidence, and opportunity. Another important lesson is identity. Repeated action slowly changes how people see themselves. A person who exercises consistently starts believing they are disciplined. A person who practices communication daily becomes more socially confident. A person who studies regularly begins trusting their ability to improve. Identity grows through evidence. Every repeated action becomes proof. And that proof slowly changes mindset. This is why small actions should never be underestimated. Tiny daily choices shape personality, confidence, and future direction. Another painful truth is regret. Many people spend years waiting for perfect timing. Years waiting for confidence. Years waiting for easier conditions. Then later they realize time disappeared quietly. That realization becomes painful because opportunities rarely wait forever. This is why action today matters deeply. Even imperfect action matters. Even slow progress matters. Because movement creates momentum, and momentum creates possibility. Another important lesson is learning how to focus on process instead of obsession with immediate results. Many people become frustrated because they focus only on outcomes. They constantly ask, when will I succeed? When will life change? When will results appear? But successful people often focus more on daily systems. They trust consistent effort. They understand results usually arrive later. That patience creates emotional stability. And emotional stability helps people continue long enough to eventually succeed. Another powerful truth is gratitude. Disciplined people often appreciate progress more deeply because they understand the effort behind improvement. They appreciate health because they worked for it. They appreciate skill because they practiced for it. They appreciate confidence because they struggled for it. This creates deeper satisfaction because earned growth feels meaningful. Another important lesson is resilience. Life will challenge everyone eventually. Unexpected failures, losses, disappointments, and difficulties are part of life. But resilient people recover faster because they built mental strength through repeated discipline. They understand that temporary setbacks do not define the future. As long as action continues, growth remains possible. This mindset becomes extremely powerful because it removes helplessness. It creates personal responsibility and hope simultaneously. Another major truth is this: most people dramatically underestimate their long-term potential. They judge themselves based only on current ability, current confidence, current results. But human beings can transform enormously over several years of focused, disciplined effort. Skills improve mindsets, improve communication, improves